Hey guys, Lexi Else here, and today is a new series I'd say to start. So this is Fragrance Talk, and today I'm joined by my friend Ross Clacken, who's on the other end of the line. We're using Steam Chat for
Hello there.
this. So yeah, I'll put a link to his channel in the description below. So today we're going to be talking about something that I've not really mentioned a lot. I think we can both sort of relate to this one. It'd be impulse buying, definitely with fragrances. Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. Impulse buying.
I agree. It's like I think like one thing I have to say right off the bat with this is I think it's so bad with fragrances is because of this sort of culture. Like fragrances, it's very luxurious. You know what I mean? It's like
hmm
everyone's always like if you go to a boutique, they're always very well kept. They always wear suits. It's always very glamorous. You know, it's like a lot of money is put into it for that image.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think people sort of feel a bit intimidated by that image, and that's sort of like it's sort of like a sort of want. You know, I want that image. It's like a good point was brought up. I was watching someone online about Giorgio Armani. Like, sure, most people might not be able to afford a Giorgio Armani suit, but they can afford the fragrance. So they can still sort of afford Armani, so they've got that part of it in their life. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
it's weird. So it sort of plays on the senses, you know. It's like, and it's not one thing that a lot of people like. Obviously, people joke about it, like on groups. So you've probably seen that yourself.
Yeah.
But like, it's not something that's really covered a lot. You know, it's a sort of like it's like bidding. As well if you're at boutiques. Like I'll basically tell a story. I'm not sure. I might have told you this one. I'm not sure, but like sometimes it's sort of like peer pressure. Like especially if you're in a busy centre. Like there's been times like occasionally I was talking to the Aqua de Palma woman just the other day and I bought mine. And like I was just telling her, I like this one. And sometimes I tell them as well when I'm talking to other boutiques, I say, I do reviews online. I'm a collector. I collect this. I've tried this. I just get talking. The thing about that is, other customers and people would be walking by would like overhear my conversation, and they would just come over and just stand there listening to the conversation. So it's at that point, like when I want to buy something, it's sort of like you get all these people watching you, and it's almost like embarrassing if you have last minute thoughts and be like, after all that, all these people watching you and just going, yeah, is there any chance you can sort of like cancel that? I don't really want it anymore. You know what I mean? It's that sort of almost peer pressure. You don't want to be shown to be sort of
Yeah.
weak. It's kind of stupid, but it actually exists. It's like impulse, like with bidding. You know, because it's like with bidding. When there's bidding online, you can't see the person. It's less aggressive than it is in person because it's sort of like you feel less of a man. Oh, he can afford this and I can't, so I need to outbid. You know what I mean? It's like so. I think it's the same sort
Yeah,
of
that's
thing in
true. That's
fragrances.
true.
Definitely. It's a weird thing. What about yourself? What would you say your views on this would be?
Terrible this summer. My views on this. Christ. Right, cancel. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I don't know what to say, dude. I really don't. I just
I'm sure it's be fine. Like we'll just basically do a
Christ.
run. Like yeah, I'm just as bad right now. I'm just sort of like coming up with the first thing that comes to my head, and the first thing I remember was that
Patronage kid.
boutique. I'm sure you know what I mean. I'm sure you've got some stories, but yeah, like Fahrenheit as
Yeah, I
well.
feel good. Some stories look like I said in post. Yeah, I was just about to mention it. You talk about Fahrenheit Absolute.
Yeah,
Where my story was where I had to where I could have got the fragrance from online. I could have got the 100 and I think it was 125 mils, was it not?
yeah.
Was it
I
125
think
mils? It was like
maybe.
50. I think it was 55 pounds. But
Hmm.
instead, I decided to go to Debenhams and just buy this at just like £10 off, and it was only
Yeah,
50 mils, and it cost me 45.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sort of the same. It's
I'm an idiot sometimes.
ironic. Like I'm
I
the
just
same as
wanted
well.
it
Like
there, and then
that's exactly it. See what you just said there. That's what they're doing. I think that's a big player. Like I'm the same. I normally buy online, and that was the only reason I actually bought the Aqua de Palma and
hmm
paid full price was, and I got the pure wood as well. But the only reason I paid
hmm
full price was because like I mean I couldn't even like sure you can get them discount, but you'll need to wait about what 3 to 6 months to get us in discount. Because they still need to come out and
yeah,
then they're still. So it's kind of like always go to full price. And if you want to be the first to sniff it and the first to like review it or something, you're gonna have to pay the full price, which is kind of, and you don't have to wait online and stuff like that as well, which is kind
hmm
of inconvenient.
it's not going to be delayed either.
Exactly, especially during Christmas. That's like where I work as well. Like when I work in Click and Collect, we get a lot of delayed deliveries simply because
Right
of
then.
snow and stuff. And every time that happens, I keep thinking, one of those deliveries could be mine. And it's really silly because I will get it, but it's just a sort of, I don't care about spending more because I walk out with it today. And it's, again, it sounds kind of silly, but I mean, you and me, we've both been to the boutiques. I mean, you arrive at the boutique and you meet the person, and it's, it's the whole image. It's the whole. They've got all the fragrances lined up. They've got and like I said, all the people coming to watch.
It's not going to be delayed. Look at All Beauty. All Beauties. It's a really good site. The delivery system's really slow. Because the last time a guy asked me to buy him a fragrance, because it's a little cheaper, you get it £10 off, and you get free delivery, or you can pay £5 to get it faster delivery. But I paid £5 for the delivery as well. It took about 2 weeks before I got the fragrance, and the guy kept asking me over and over where the fragrance is.
Yeah, I mean that's nothing as well.
But the guy, at the end of the day, the guy could have just went to the shop and just bought it there and then. You know what I mean? It would have saved them time.
Yeah, definitely. So I think online there's a lot of people as well, and another thing about it as well is a lot of money. I know a few people that won't even buy online because they're just scared about their details being stolen and stuff. And to be fair, that's a fair fear, as well.
Yeah, true.
Because your money's basically going. And
but if it's trusted sites, it should be okay.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the sort of things that people need to regain
about
trust.
Sites? It depends on the site.
Yeah, definitely. Because I know...
like Amazon, and they're a good site. Just never places like eBay, never go in there.
I'm the
so
same.
You're going to get ripped off.
I completely agree. Like, I know eBay isn't too bad for... I know I've seen some rare things that I saw Pure Coffee the other day, and I was tempted to order it. One thing I have to say I don't like about eBay, though, is it's kind of stupid.
Could be a fake, though. There's a lot of fakes on there.
Agreed. See, that's the thing, is there's no sort of... And the thing is, some of the fakes come from people with good reputation, but they still sell fakes. So that's the sort of and the only bad protection you get is using PayPal, so you can contact them, explain, and get your money back. And sometimes PayPal doesn't even work. So there's a few times I've tried to buy legit items on eBay, like you have shops with their own eBay page, legit shops, but they have an eBay page.
Yeah.
Like I know 80s Casual Classics had one at one point. So yeah, and stuff like that.
I think they still do.
Yeah, I think they still, because that's a big thing as well. Companies going eBay. I think that's a good one as well.
Somewhere in England or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, and they send it up. See, that's a good way as well, because you've got that sort of buyer trust. You know they're a legit site. I'm not sure if All Beauty have an eBay thing. I think they might. I'll check it out, but I'm sure.
They probably do. You'd have to look it out.
Yeah, agreed. But that, like you were saying,
I'd say Amazon are probably the best. If you're going to buy a fragrance, it'd be for there. They're cheaper, they're trustworthy, and fast delivery.
Agreed. I think one of the benefits of Amazon as well is instead of being one company holding everything, you need to rely on that company's sources to get stuff. Whereas Amazon can source Amazon because you're too cheap for Amazon. You can just imagine, like, we're just talking about dodgy sites. Like, we're just talking about dodgy sites, and I go, Amazon. You're like, oh, so where did you get? So you got 200 mils of Fahrenheit for 20 quid. Amazon. Fahrenheit. It's spelled F-A-R-E-N.
The little brother of Amazon,
Amazon.
Amazon, the little brother of Amazon.
I got
Amazon.com or Amazon.eu.
Oh, look at this. It's a bottle of Creed Green Irish Tweed. It's only 50 quid, 125 mils. Like, yeah. I think that'd be the giveaway, the fact that they don't even make 125 mils. It's 120 and it stops. Like, yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing as well about impulse buying. I'd like to actually talk about Creed for a bit, is simply because the Creed, I know some fragrances, I heard Royal Oud comes on only 75 mils, but see, because of that, like, Creed are another brand that people sort of buy on impulse. Like, I know a lot of people like Creed. I know there's a lot of heated discussions about Creed. It's one of the brands that gets like Cool Water, Green Irish Tweed, not garbage, but a lot of people buy it because of its image. Like, it's like, oh, we used to supply the royal family, John F. Kennedy wore Creed, and Creed have done this. Exactly. So they see the name and it's impulse buying. It's like I like Aventus. I mean, I really like Aventus. I know I paid it. I didn't like it at first, but when I realised it was getting me good performance, I love the smell, So, but the thing I like about most is it's an original creation. It's one of Creed's original ones. Like Green Irish Tweed was original, but I just hate it when they like rip things off and it's like, I know we're sort of sidetracking. I was going to save this for another topic as well, was when companies copy our scents, but we can add a bit more into it in another video. But like for
Can
now,
add more.
just basically like original vetiver is like Mugler cologne, and like Creed Himalaya smells exactly like XS and Platinum Eagle East. And like I even posted XS on one of the pages, and some guy was like, "Oh, this is a total copy of Creed Himalaya," and it was like, Creed Himalaya came out like 2005, and XS and
Yeah,
Platinum Eagle
and
East came out
XS came out in
93. Like so,
80s or 90s, yeah.
yeah, 93. So it was like, yeah. So I think that's the thing, is the company. I'm not saying they shouldn't be in business, but they get a lot of business from their image as opposed to quality. It's sort of like placebo effect. It's like if you tell someone something's really expensive, oh, it smells really good, even though it could be a completely cheap scent.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that also adds into impulse buying. Is people say, "Oh, there's that, I must buy that," even if it's not that cheap, even if it's like say 20% off, and they could get 50% off, they want it there and then, and they want it. I've got it. So it's a sort of like I mean, I've been there myself. Like I've planted I've recently upgraded my webcam, and recently I put off upgrading it 3 times because I ended up buying a fragrance with the money I had for the webcam. So I was like, I was just like, I've got this money, and I'd see something and say, I go, like, fuck it, I'll get it next week. I'll get it next month. I'll get it next month. And it just, because I just kept, it's just like,
Oh,
it's like when I was skint as well, when I was on the dole.
Yeah, you're a big impulse buyer.
It's insane.
I know that a few times.
I know. I think I've got
you
under
went
control.
for one fragrance and you just decided to go for and the same fragrance. It was just a different kind of. It was the same fragrance. I think it was just like a special edition. I can't remember what it was. It was in the perfume shop. It was just the same fragrance. It just had the different colour box, and it was like a special edition or something like that, and you just had to get it.
Was that not 212 Sexy Men?
Christ. Yeah, it was actually.
Because I was like, I'm not going to buy that. It's all right. It's not right scent, but I don't think it performs that well until I saw it and say, all right, fine, I'll buy it. It's like, I know that bottle. I'm like, fuck it, I'll buy it. Like, yeah. It's like Fahrenheit Parfum as well. I actually admit to impulse buying like fuck. Like I'll admit I had something like I think I had 90 quid.
Probably one of your best purchases though. It's a good fragrance.
I agree, it is. It was just like the price, 73 quid for 75 mils, and that was really expensive. And I'll admit, when I bought it, I couldn't afford it. So like I basically didn't eat. I think you'll remember in college, I like skipped lunch and stuff, and we weren't in that much, to be fair. We were only in, it was the end of the year. We must have been in, 2-3 days a week?
Yeah, it was.
So yeah, like the money I should have had in food, I just spent in Fahrenheit because I wanted it, and I was like, it just shows you things you don't think about. And even when I was in the fragrance groups, there's plenty of guys like, I'd post their bank statements, and it would be like minus $200, $300, $400, and it'd be like, oh, looks like I got carried away, and it's like a normal thing. So it was like, it sounds like something not to be proud of, but you still feel good. And it was kind of weird as well, like, because I've not had any money because I was on the dole and stuff. When I got paid recently, I went out and bought the Acqua di Parma Colonia, and it was 140 quid, which was really expensive. But the thing is, I couldn't find it cheaper anywhere else.
Still worth it.
I agree. I actually really like it as well. So I'll admit though, I didn't feel good about buying it, and that's weird because normally I feel great even if I do impulse buying. I know that I shouldn't have. I still feel like I've got this, I can enjoy it. So like when I did get it, I felt like an idiot. I didn't feel good the rest of the day because I was like, I shouldn't have spent that much, and it was just sort of weird because I'm so used to not having money. When I'd done that sort of impulse, I'll take it now, and it was in the Acqua, and I'll admit I wasn't sort of peer pressured, but I was in Fraser's. It was all fancy. I was talking to them at Acqua, and I spent a lot of our time. I spent a good 20 minutes discussing stuff. I tried to say to other customers, she'd go back and say, look, just wait there, take as long as you want. And it was all that way where even like I really wanted it, but at the same time, I'm not sure if I wanted it as much as I liked the fragrance, but I also didn't want to turn around and just be like, listen, I'm really sorry, but I just can't be bothered with it. I don't want it. And it's not. That sounds kind of like I'm being weak, like peer pressured into buying it, if you know. But it was weird to explain, but I didn't feel good about buying it until today when I wore it and I got compliments at work and it was really good.
You wore it?
Yeah, and everyone was like, oh, it smells amazing, that's really good. And like, and even one of my co-workers, she said, how much was that? I goes, it was 140. And she goes, oh my god, I can't believe you spent that, but it was so worth it. And she was, and she was like, she's like dead against spending a fortune in fragrances, but she's like, to be honest, in your case, I think that's worth the money. So I was just sort of like to have that sort of gratification as well. So it's just an interesting topic though, because I mean, some people have got themselves into financial crisis, you know, like
I have
it's
to
all
agree.
fun and games. I know we've ended up skint or spent too much, but I mean, there are some people who get to the point where they can't even pay their fucking bills, you know. It's
Is it that bad? Christ.
Yeah, I mean, I've read lots of
Never knew
stories,
it
and
got that bad.
I know it's just
I know
insane.
I've been skint a few times, you know what I mean? Buying a couple of frequencies, end up skint, have to wait for about 3 or 4 weeks to end up getting there.
It's fucking insane.
Christ, I've been there, I've been there, I've been there.
Just a very interesting
You know what I
topic,
mean?
you know, that doesn't get a lot of coverage,
It
in my
really is a
opinion.
good topic.
It doesn't get a lot of coverage at all. I know a lot of people talk about addictions and stuff, but they don't go into the detail about what sort of underlies it. So I think it's the image just plays a big part in it, you know, about the boutiques. Everything's really fancy, and it's just a sort of like urge to have a collection. Like I've been there myself, where I've wanted to buy things that I really don't need, like Thierry Mugler. I think one of the ones I resisted, I know I regret resisting it, was Thierry Mugler Angel Men. So the gold edition was
Mm-hmm.
£64 in Fraser's, and I thought, you know, as much as I'd want it, I don't really need it. And then like recently, I've been looking at it and like nowhere sells it, and like I've really wanted to own a complete Thierry Mugler collection, like Pure Coffee, Iceman, you know, the whole shebang. And just thinking that that gold flagon is
Yes.
just so hard to get, you know. But I remember at the time I was quite tight up for cash, and I didn't
I
really
do
want to
have it
spend
in
that.
Frasers. I don't know if they still have it.
Oh,
You should check it out, see if
yeah,
they
I
still
actually
got it.
recently checked on the website. They sadly don't have it. I was pretty pissed off because
Do
they
not.
had it for like a year. You know, it wasn't like a few weeks. I mean, I'm sure they had it for a solid year because
It's
I
possible you could get it from Amazon, but the price you're gonna have to pay.
agreed. Like the prices are just shooting up as well, and again that falls into impulse buying as well because you get people
It
who see a
does.
rare fragrance as well and they'll still buy it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
That's
it's
true.
I think it can be impulse buying with benefits where you buy something on impulse and it ends up paying off. You realize you know it was worth it, and in the end it helps. You've got like you buy something on impulse, and then you realize how much it's worth later on. But you know, it's
Mm-hmm.
in a way it sort of contradicts itself because you buy it on impulse, and it may or may not be a good thing. So you might buy an impulse, think, "Oh God, I'm skint." You know, it won't be worth anything. You just wasted your money. So I think as a collector myself, I have that problem more because there's not the case of if it doesn't smell good, I'll sell it because it's a case of even if it doesn't smell good, as a collector, I still want to own
Mm-hmm.
it. You know, so
Yes.
it's like people always going on. I think you've heard as well in Fragcom about the Perfect 30. Everyone ranting on about that. Perfect 30, the Perfect 30.
Cut it there. It's twice you've cut it now.
Yeah,
Don't know
is
if
it,
it'll affect the video or not, but you've cut it twice.
yeah,
Yeah, it's done it a
the
couple of times.
connection's
It's
going
not bad
a
though.
wee
It's
bit
just
weird, but it's not
sometimes
too bad. So it's
not
just
too
a
bad.
yeah. I
Still
mean,
covers mostly what you've said.
yeah, agreed. So it's been. I'm actually quite enjoying this. I think this is something different because you know normally in my videos I
What about
always say
blind buys?
stuff.
Does that come under blind buys? Does that not come under impulsive buying? I guess.
It depends on the sort of. Yeah, I think it would. Like, it depends
Oh,
on.
just
Yeah,
nearly
because
broke
it
my
means you're
hand.
the. It would actually be an impulse buying. To think
Depends.
about
Yeah.
it, because I know a lot of people say to me I should buy more samples. So think about like it's the sort of impatience. You buy a
Mm-hmm.
sample online, you wait a couple of days, maybe a few
Right.
weeks. If the samples come from America, you'll be waiting. You know what, 2 weeks. So and then there's a
Yeah.
sample, and then you need to order the fragrance itself. Plus, you had to spend a bit more extra money on
Mm-hmm.
the sample because I know a lot of people. I'm sure you saw it yourself on the groups. There'll be a lot of people just posting their fragrances, but they'll have more samples than they have bottles. But
Mm-hmm.
like big samples, like you're not your 5 and 10 mil, more 20
Yeah.
mils and stuff, 15. So yeah, I think that's the best way to almost explore fragrance instead of buying bottles as well. And like even an empty shoebox, like an empty shoebox could hold, I mean, the equivalent of 50 samples, you know, but it couldn't hold
Uh-huh.
50 fragrance bottles as
That's true.
well. And there's also you can take samples on holiday
Mm-hmm.
as well. So yeah, and I went like impulse buying is just it's an interesting topic. I think it's just really really good to get to talk about because it's not been covered. But it's kind of strange because it's not
Yeah, it's an
limited.
interesting topic.
It's not limited. Like you can't pinpoint it, you know, to like ages. Just everyone like there's teenagers doing it. There's grown men doing it. There's you know, it's just weird. So it's not like
Mm-hmm.
you think, oh, just dumb kids wasting their money. But I mean, there's guys in 30s, 40s, 50s who are spending a fortune going, oh, you know. But it's just the
Like you
sort
said.
of the sort of image about it really adds to it. And even people are good at managing money. Even I mean, we can admit ourselves. Like I said, well, both admitted there's a few times I wanted to buy stuff and we thought, you know what, that's it. No, we've resisted it and thought, no, we're not buying it. You know, we're not wasting the money. And it's, when I say a few
Yeah,
times, I
true.
mean like what, twice? But maybe once. I can't remember because most of the time we got drinking after it, so we're like, yeah.
That's true.
My first ever impulse buy, to be honest, was my first Chanel. Like I remember I was watching Mark Robertal's
Yeah.
video, and he was going like, go to the Chanel boutique, they'll hook you up, they're great, they're this, they're that, they're cut above the rest. I'm like, yeah. So like,
Yeah.
and I remember like I got drunk and I woke up and I was like, oh yeah, when did I get the Chanel? You know, I was just so it was like, yeah, I was drunk and I still impulse bought it. So like, and I am Armani as well. Armani
For Christ's
Attitude
sake, that
Extreme.
reminds me of the story about you and. Oh Christ!
Go on, tell
That
us.
reminds me of the story of you when you'd got drunk one night and you you woke up the next day and you had no jeans on. You're like, hey, no jeans.
Oh god! Oh yeah, that was like impulse buying as well. Because
Oh
I
Christ!
was wearing a tracksuit and we were out and you were buying like a few shirts. And because I saw you buying the shirts, I instantly wanted the jeans because you were buying nice shirts. I was like, I want a nice pair of jeans. Like, I don't care, I just want them. And yeah,
Oh Christ!
I remember like, because I was running for the last train. It was like the 11:58, and I was like fucking running for that because it was Strathy Union where I at. Remember that? I was like wearing a Kappa polo.
Oh yes, I remember that.
And I fucking came in. So the 11:58 got me home for like what 12:25. My mum was like, "You up at 7 tomorrow?" I was like, "Yeah, I know." Just woke up with these new jeans, and the weird thing, I was still drunk when I woke up. I wasn't even hungover. That was the thing. Like the hangover hit me in the middle of the day, and like I didn't have a belt for the jeans. I remember, so like I was walking
Yeah, it
about
did
these
that to
loose
me, you know.
fucking jeans, and then yeah. So yeah, impulse buying. Yeah, outside of fragrances. I mean, think about it. It's funny because we're talking about fragrances, but before that, we used to spend a fortune on clothes. I mean, we buy clothes at least once a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, every week we would normally go a walk and go down
You
and
were the worst for
buy.
it.
I was terrible. I mean, like when I collected
Yeah,
Sergio
you were a
Tacchini's,
new suit. You were a new suit every week.
I know. I mean, I think the impulse buys always we're talking about rare fragrances as well. But when I was like collecting all that 80s sports gear, you know, Fila Vintage, Sergio Tacchini, stuff like that.
Yeah.
When I saw it, because it was rare, if I saw it in my size, I would instantly buy it. Same as shoes. Shoes I was incredibly bad with because I was a size 12. And I knew it was very hard to get my size. So I'd buy them.
Yeah.
Even if, I mean, I know I've got all these shoes and I haven't worn them all. But I bought them because, I want them. You know, it wasn't a case of how much will I wear. Oh, they're those and they're mine. I want them now.
Yes.
So I just didn't even think. So
Yeah, indeed.
it's just a very interesting. I mean, again, we're talking about fragrance, like, and shoes would fall under that, like Fila Vintage, Less, Diadora, and stuff like that. You know, Nike Originals and stuff. They're all we're the best shoe ever. And all, I mean, like the Diadora Bog Elites, like they were very expensive. I think they were £150. I think they cost me 180. Can't remember. Yeah, I think it was 180 for mine because I had the kangaroo leather. But that was the reason I bought it. It wasn't a case of, it was like,
Yeah,
but the kangaroo leather. Exactly. Like, it was like, but the kangaroo leather, and Beyond Bog wore them, and you know, it came out in 1981 and stuff like that, and they were this and that. And it just like Creed. I was more interested in the history behind it than what it actually was. You know what I mean? To the point, I want that, I must buy it. You know. So image, as far as impulse buy, I think image is the biggest part of it. Image and ego and stuff play the biggest role in impulse buying, in my personal opinion. You know, so like,
Yeah, it does.
Because a lot of people I know that think I'm silly for buying stuff are very laid back. Like, you could come in like with a Rolex on even, and they'd be like, "Oh, cool, that's a nice watch, but I don't really care for it," and they just walk about with like a plastic Casio. That's fine for them. They're not bothered about it, you know. So like brand imaging and like pressuring doesn't bother them because they're sort of laid back in a way. What do you think about that? Would you agree? Because from what I've noticed anyway.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
It's just interesting though, as even like as yourself as well. I mean, I thought I was good with money, and to be fair, I never got myself into that much of a mess. But I could always afford my train ticket to go to college. I could always, most of the time, afford lunch, except for Fahrenheit Parfum and stuff. But
yeah, you always make sure you have that extra money back.
Exactly. So I mean, it's got the point where like, we have maintained control, but the thing is, impulse buying is we're not the only ones. You know, there's other people that really have a problem with it. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm the same. I would sometimes,
Most people end up in debt and stuff like that because of impulse buying.
and all about this image. But I think definitely it's all to do with the ego in the image, and it's a sort of, if it wasn't for that, if people sort of took that image and that sort of classiness, design on this dodgy site, we sell design on this quality, you know, like, yeah, it's design on this, like
And
nicheness.
Amazon.
Amazon, design on this quality, you know. Get the latest design on this scents for Christmas at Amazon.
Was it Anamon? I can't remember what you said before.
Amanon, was that not Amanon?
I can't remember.
Okay.
Christ's sake, I've heard it all.
Christ, I know. Like, this has just been, like, I actually quite enjoyed this chat. It's something different. I've actually just enjoyed, you know, both shaving stuff. What about yourself? Like, I've actually quite enjoyed this.
Yeah, I've actually quite enjoyed it, yeah.
So about
I hardly spoke, but I enjoyed it. I like to listen to your conversations and what happened and stuff like that.
It's still good to have another
enjoyable, and I
person.
think other people will.
Yeah, agreed. It's still
Yeah,
good to have another
yeah.
person there though, because
Just reminds me that maybe a big mistake, but I should have got the fragrance, but I didn't get the fragrance. I was there with you. You got both of them. It was a perfume store, I think it's in Cianox Centre. There was I had the gold already, 24 gold, but I really wanted the 24. I can't remember. I think it was dark.
Oh, Go Dark.
Or Go Dark. Something like that. Yeah, I really wanted that fragrance, and I had it in my hand. I was like, should I take it or not? Should I take it or not? And you walked out the shop. I was like,
do you want to know the funny
I'm
thing?
not going to take it. I put it back down and I walked away before I was going to grab it. Oh,
Do you want to know how
should
that
have
actually
done it or not?
benefited
Should have took the
me?
fragrance. Aye.
Well, now there was 2 bottles of Go Dark.
How did
I
that
picked
benefit
up
you,
one,
boy?
right? I picked up one and bought it and walked out, and you'll go buy the other one, right?
Mhm.
So, like, check this out. The one I actually bought, I don't think I told anyone about this, right? The one I bought of that Go Dark had a faulty sprayer.
Broke.
Yeah, the sprayer didn't work. So they didn't have any other bottles on the one that you didn't buy in. So I took it back and they were like, oh, the sprayer's not working, sorry about that, and replaced it with the one that you didn't buy. So, like, if you bought it, then I'd be stuck with the one with the fucking faulty sprayer. So, like, in a way, think about it, like, we both benefited from that one.
Yeah,
So
you got lucky then, I guess.
Nice. See, that was fate. So, like, I think we're going to wrap this one up before it hits the 30-minute mark. So, yeah, I quite enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed it too, Ross.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm hoping we're going to start doing more of these, guys. As well. I know there's not a lot of video. It's just a basic fragrance talk, impulse buying. I thought it'd be different, no video, just chatting. But I think as a next topic, I think we should talk more about the evolution of fragrance. I think just for all the different fragrances we try, like your Paco Rabanne, and then like Fahrenheit and stuff, like fragrances like Fahrenheit that never ever going to get old and just revolutionised. I mean, there's not a single good clone of Fahrenheit. You just can't clone it, you know? So, and stuff like Angel Men, how everyone references Angel Men as the ultimate gourmand. Stuff like that. So, yeah. I think it should be pretty interesting. Thanks for watching, guys, and yeah.
I thought you were finished now, sorry.
I know, don't worry. No, I was just about to say, I thought you were finished as well there, so yeah. I think we're going to wrap this one up. So, anyway, it's been a pleasure having this chat. Thank you for joining us, Ross. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. This is Fragrance Talk. We're discussing impulse buying. So yeah, if you enjoyed this chat, don't forget, guys, to like, share, and subscribe. Any questions you have for either of us, put them in the comments below. I'd appreciate any feedback anyone else has. And I also, I actually encourage video responses. With this series, I encourage video responses probably more than anything else, because I think it gives a more hands-on approach like we've got today, as opposed to text. So yeah, I encourage any questions, anyone insight into what we discussed today, to feel free to say it, you know. And if you think we're talking shit, just say, I think you guys are talking shit, but tell us why you think we're talking crap. I think you guys are wrong because blah, 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 blah. Don't just say, you guys are idiots, and then leave off, because we will just hit the block button, and yeah, fuck you. So yeah, there is that. But, but yeah, so yeah, guys, thank you for watching, and yeah, stay tuned for more.